I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Srinivas Balasubramanian. He is the founder, chairman, and CEO at Photon. Srinivas, wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Wonderful. Well, before we get started, just a quick note to viewers. This interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. All right, so Srinivas, tell me, how did you get here today?
Well, the story of Photon goes back a long way. It goes back over 20 years. When we started, my brother and I started my previous company out of a Stanford dorm room back in the day. It was a pure trueblue99.com. So we had everything going on. It was a Stanford research project that got funded. So we had everything going on, including the foosball tables, the snack bars, you name it. And then we went plumb bang into the dot-com bust. That wasn't fun. But what we did manage to do was to turn that previous company around into an API management company. Sold that eventually to a publicly traded company. Everyone was happy with the sale. But then I decided to found Photon. And we're a pure play digital services company. And a lot of what we were talking about as a part of my previous company came to life as a part of Photon, which is APIs, microservices, the building blocks of digital all came to the fore. And the iPhone launched, which is the absolute clarion call for what we were trying to do for a long while. So we started off building iPhone apps for some of the most innovative startups in the world. And pretty soon when the enterprises, the biggest banks, the biggest retailers, the biggest healthcare retailers were looking to figure out why mobile made sense for them and whether they should invest in mobile, we were the first ports of call. So we got there pretty much on the back of maniacal customer service and being thought leaders for our customers on this forefront of innovation.
Okay, and tell me, where is Photon today?
Well, we're thousands of people. We have offices in 9 countries right now. So pretty global distributed organization. Very diverse in its in our demographic. So today we look at the world of digital as being on the cusp of yet another major revolution. We talk about it as digital hyper expansion. Really 7 blocks of digital, of which the APIs, microservices, and the mobile apps and your websites are one part of it. But a lot of the growth is driven by new technologies like data, cloud, emerging channels, marketing technologies, personalizing user experiences, new age payments, new supply chain, robotics on the shop floor, things like that which make digital super exciting. And we are there right on the bleeding edge, helping our customers stay on the forefront of innovation in these new technologies.
All right, and where do you see the company headed?
Well, we think digital as a concept will keep expanding, and what constitutes digital will keep expanding. So we're very positive about where we are. We're very positive about digital. There's no end to where the world will go. I mean, what we looked at 20 years ago versus what we see today is just a world apart, and the next 20 years will have the same pace of change. So we're very positive about what we see there. We see the company potentially taking some very interesting strategic moves using our very large customers' industry presences, along with our ability to build digital presences in scale, and possibly introduce some new business models and new exciting things that will really bring innovation. That's where we think we're headed.
It sounds like very exciting times ahead. Well, wonderful to talk with you, Srinivas. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.